Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try that again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I like that. Welcome to the Spark of Hope Tribute Gala 2021. My name is Lila Lazarus. If I haven't met you, I've been a news anchor, health reporter for 30 years. I'm an adventure creator, extreme athlete. But tonight, I am your MC. And it is a gorgeous night outside. It is a magnificent night inside the Winter Garden. We are live. This is not Zoom. I'm dressed from the waist down. Can I hear an amen? I want to start by telling you how much I appreciate that all of you are here. If you are new to this event, welcome to the fold. You're in for a treat. If you are here year after year for Life Directions, thank you for being part of this very special circle. And if you planned this event, if you are part of Life Directions, trying to plan an event like this inside of a pandemic is not easy. So thank you for all that you have done. Let's give them a round of applause. Appreciation is so important. It's a problem. You know, we're so good at being critical, at judging. People say, 76% of people that leave their jobs say they did it because they didn't feel appreciated. So will you please tell the people at your table how much you appreciate them? Go ahead. Okay, that's enough appreciation. And one more thing. They did a study, a Japanese study. They found that people get just as excited, even more so, about a compliment than they do about a paycheck. So add one more thing to the people at your table. Go ahead, give out some compliments. Go ahead. You will raise the energy in the room. You look beautiful, Father. You look amazing.
Thank you. God bless you all.
God bless you too. So we are so glad that you are with us tonight. Sadly, my husband is not here with me tonight. He's at a football game. I'm really happy for him. Too often in life, as I said, we criticize, we judge, we don't compliment. The other day I was saying to my husband, I could use a compliment, I could use a little appreciation. And he kept twisting his wedding ring. And I'm like, why are you twisting your wedding ring? He said, I'm trying to figure out the combination. I got a good one though. I got a 1962 Cuban, and I think I'm gonna keep him. He's smart, he's attractive, he's got hair, he's got a job, nothing against not having hair. And he can drive at night, so I'm really happy with him. I wanna get this party started. We're gonna start with the chair of this gala, who leads the Fund Development Committee. He's the Spark of Hope Gala Executive Committee Chair. We have so much appreciation for our gala chair tonight. Please welcome Jim Schmidt.
I'm an accountant, and I have a hard time following that. I was asked to come up here and make an introduction and thank the board of directors and the committees and that, but I thought about it and I thought, number one, I'd like to thank the guests. It's really nice to see everybody here. Not that I can see you very well through these lights, but it is nice that you get out after COVID. It's nice to be able to mingle. It reminds me of many years ago when I was at another firm in San Francisco, and I'd go to the annual parties, and every conversation was interesting. Every conversation was with somebody who was interesting to speak with, and that's the way I feel tonight. But I want to thank, number one, I want to thank you all for coming out after this COVID event. I hope this is the beginning of something that we can start doing more often. I want to thank all the guests. Thank you so very much. I want to thank the students who I think I've met a number of them, and I'm always interested in speaking with them. It's so nice to hear about their dreams and aspirations, and their seeing their values. But I also want to thank the board of directors, and I want to thank the committees, and I want to thank the staff. And, you know, the introduction that was just given of me, you know, they act like I really was a driving factor. I have so much work that's done by other people. You know, I appreciate, you know, being chair of the committee, and I appreciate being on the board, but it's the other people, particularly the staff, Father John, Patrick Ruggiero. I just got to thank all of their dedication, and I don't want to start naming names because I'll obviously forget somebody. But anyway, welcome everybody. Have a good evening. The bar is open. Have fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, to tell you about the people who actually made this night happen, please welcome Ed Pieper.
Thanks, and good evening, everyone. It's great to be in our home here at GM tonight and to see so many people here. It's a wonderful thing. You know, the nice thing about being honorary chair is that I get to be the one to stand up here and thank all of those who had a hand in putting this evening together. The reality is it takes a whole bunch of people to make something like this happen. To the planning and execution, to the sponsorships, to the dinner, to the auction, you name it. So for starters, I'd like to thank the many, many people who contributed to this event, particularly those who gave of themselves, the time, the effort, and the passion for this great cause. And thanks to those individuals and organizations who donated the many items to be auctioned this evening. In particular, I want to thank our diamond sponsors, Donald and Mary Kosh and the Artichoke Garlic Foundation, and our platinum sponsors, Imagine Entertainment, Huntington, Morley Companies, and O'Brien Construction, our post-event Afterglow sponsor, the Trinity Company, and additionally, thanks to all of the gold, silver, bronze, and patron sponsors whose names appear on the screen. Yeah, let's give them a big round of applause. Thanks, Father. And thanks to all of you who bought seats and tables tonight. And as a result of your generosity, I know this evening's going to be a huge success. I certainly don't want to keep you from enjoying this great evening any longer than necessary, but I do want to say a few words about hope. There's a great line from a movie, which I'm pretty sure most of you have seen, called The Shawshank Redemption. For those of you who haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you, but it's basically about an innocent guy, Andy, played by actor Tim Robbins, who's wrongly sentenced to life in prison. And there's a great scene where Andy has written a letter to his fellow inmate and friend, Red, played by Morgan Freeman. Andy writes, quote, "Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies." Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. It's a great line. Yes, hope is the best of things, but I believe that hope without action, hope without vision, hope without passion is simply a dream. And that's why the work of Life Directions is so very, very important. You all know the saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we all help each other and support each other, we all benefit, we all rise, and that's what peers, inspiring peers, is all about. So with that in mind, I especially want to thank Father John for his vision, his passion, and his compassion for supporting, influencing, and inspiring the countless lives this organization has touched for nearly a half century. And I know there are many, many individuals who can point directly to Father John and this organization and say, "You changed my life." Thank you, Father John, for all you do. And finally, I want to thank our host, Lila Lazarus, and offer my personal congratulations for our award recipients this evening, Kim Adams House and Paul Glantz. Thanks for all you do. And again, everyone, enjoy your evening. Thank you for coming tonight. Back to you, Lila. Thank you. Nice to be with you.
Thank you so much. Don't stay here, though, because you're really tall. And thank you for your beautiful message about hope. For anybody under 40, Shawshank Redemption was a movie that came out in 1994. You know, in life, there are finders and there are founders. There are people who sit in the stands or those who wake up and say, gosh darn it, I'm going to get on the field. Every day, you have that choice to choose whether or not you want to be the finder or the founder. Thankfully for all of us, this next guy is a founder. He finds an issue, a problem, a challenge, and he organizes a solution. He is the founder of Life Directions. Please welcome Father John Phelps.
I'm going to ask a question to all of you and to give you a spirit of who we are. What is the greatest nation? If I were to ask you that question, it'd be the question that we ask young people when they start. And they'll say United States or Mexico or something. And I'll say the greatest nation is your imagination. And imagine what's happening tonight. And we are wonderfully grateful to remember a man, Jack Aronson, who left us a legacy for life. And to quote what Ed said, people with hope, it never stops. What we give to others lives after we let go. Now, this is true for anyone, but it's true for Jack Aronson, who let go of living about a month ago. And if you wonder why I'm bringing him up tonight, let me tell you why. He's part of our imagination. Jack encouraged those who knew him. Jack loves sports. The sport that best represents Life Directions is a relay race. Know your spark, and that's your life direction. So when you hear the word Life Directions, the S is spark. Run your race. Keep your eye on the finish line. Fight the fight when you feel like quitting. Only let go when others take up the baton. Jack saw potential in those not given a chance, and he kept running. Jack said to me in the hospital, I've got something for you, just keep going. Jack is a peer to people, investing in the next generation. Keep inspiring. Jack's joy is enjoying others, enjoying life. Enjoy it tonight. Jack is a model. He kept what he gave. Believe. Keep on keeping on. Life Directions, we want to begin by thanking all of you here for keeping on through the pandemic and not quitting. Annette, we thank you for sharing Jack and being our vitamin A. Now, one to whom Jack gave his baton, Patrick Ruggiero. And I invite Patrick to come forward.
Thank you, Father. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time out to join us today. I know it's not easy with so many obligations that we have and responsibilities to make it out here, especially with the concern of COVID. This room probably would have been double, but it's great to see how many people actually came out, so thank you for that. I was told to put a speech together so it could be reviewed, and it was difficult to put a speech together to say words about my dear friend and mentor, Jack Aronson. I met him some years ago, and it was love at first sight. It was amazing. We talked about sports, and we talked about philanthropy and charity, and we just hit it off. He says to me, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I says, "I don't know why." He says, "Why don't you come and hit a couple hundred softballs with me in the morning?" I go, "What time?" He goes, 7. I go, "Damn, that's early, Jack." He goes, "I get them out of the way, try to do it 2 or 3 times a week." And from there, a beautiful relationship ensued with him taking him and Annette, I've got to mention, who Annette's here, and just as much as Jack did, Annette was always next to him and took us to Florida with my son and my daughter and treated us like family from the beginning. And we went to Italy together and traveled. And but his unbelievable zest for life, for those of you, I'm sure almost everybody's known him. You know, he was like 6'5", 6'6", you know, almost, I think, 300 pounds. He'd probably punch me if I said that. But he was a big boy at one time, and his heart was even bigger. I went to him with so many charity events. I brought him to Life Direction, introduced him here. He loved it, and he got involved, and he got me involved in Beyond Basics and Gilda's Club, so we would get each other involved. Jack and Annette, never to say no to anything. He'd always want to know about the charity, always want to know what the cause was, wanted to know the people involved. But he was bigger than life, and I didn't really even know it to the extent until I heard all the testimonials at the mass service on the video screen. But I could be up here for days talking about all the amazing experiences that I had with Jack, and I'm going to miss him dearly. He came into my life shortly after my father passed away 12 years ago, and even though he was more of a bigger brother to me, he was amazing, and I plan on following in his footsteps and continuing to do the great work that Jack did, and with the support of Annette, which I was so happy to hear. The whole family's here, and I thank all of you for coming and supporting our event and continuing to support the causes that Jack and Annette were so passionate about, because sometimes, you know, somebody passes on, somebody else gets involved, and things change. But so thank you, Annette, that you're here tonight, and the family is continuing to support such a great cause. It really is, and you've heard about what we do at Life Directions, and Jack loved it. He loved children, he loved young people, he loved helping people that were less fortunate than himself and ourselves, and gave people a chance that when they got to a point in their life, especially 9th, 10th graders, and they have a choice to go right or left, you know, some of them go left and get themselves in a lot of trouble. And my mom can tell you, I was one of them, right? So I understand that it's especially today, it's easier than ever to make poor choices and get on that wrong course. So, you know, without people like Jack and Annette and the Aronson family, we can't do what we do, and we really thank everybody that's here tonight. And I thank my mom, and I got to do this because I forget to do this a lot. I forget to thank my own family, my brother Mark and his wife Christina, and my girlfriend Lori, because I always forget you, Lori. And my son's here, Patrizio, who Jack and him had a special relationship because he's a big sports guy. And I got a beautiful video that we took some time to put together, just a little clip here. I want to just show that little Jack's life, okay? So can we put that on right now? Are we good? Well, thank you. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Jack was a recipient of the Guiding Light Award, which we're celebrating this evening. And he's been an amazing guiding light in our community. And I hope that we could all continue in his footsteps and do the great work that Jack has done and continue to give back to our community. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick. A true guiding light, and what an amazing tribute to an incredible man. There are things you want people to hear also when they're alive. So just a few weeks before he died, I sent a video actually to Annette and to Jack to thank them for teaching me about gratitude, generosity, and the importance of a great softball game. And it's a good reminder to all of us to make sure when we talk about appreciation and gratitude that we tell the people what they mean to us while they're still with us. That softball game, by the way, was something that he did for the Boys and Girls Club. He was all about giving, and he really exemplified the mission of Life Directions. And generosity is what we're all talking about tonight. So let's get the awards underway. Here come to judge. Let's welcome the Honorable Thomas J. Hathaway.
Well, I appreciate that, Liza. I don't normally get applause when I enter the courtroom, but this is lovely. From one iconic life to another, I'm here to introduce the presenter of a special recognition for the co-founder of Life Directions, Sister Rosalie Esquerra of the Dominican Adrian Sisters. She has worked with excellence in the schools and in the neighborhoods in the Life Directions programs. She, along with Father John Phelps, Father Alex Steinmiller, and the McDonald family, put together the protocols and the programs of Life Directions that have been so instrumental in the lives of thousands of youth and young adults. The programs work. The results are validated. Now, Sister Rosalie is here today, and her life confirms what the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard talked about, how people live a life, how we live our lives. Kierkegaard observed that people live in the present, thinking of the future, but our lives are only understood by looking backwards. And in looking backwards with Sister Rosalie, we find a very rich canvas of actions, activities, successes, failures, but perseverance, never giving up, never giving in, working for the least fortunate among us, working for those that are marginalized and at risk. Now, this recognition confirms what we at Life Directions have known for many, many years, and that is that Sister Rosalie is one of a kind. In order to understand the impact that she has made in the lives of others, we look at her record. And that record that is being recognized today, beyond what she has done with Life Directions, goes to a signature moment back in the 1970s when the Detroit public school system was involved in the school desegregation litigation, Bradley versus Milliken. The school board was looking to engage in busing. What they were attempting to do was to try to move non-minority students to places where there were minority students, and vice versa, majority students. The school board identified Hispanics, who are a separate minority group, as white. And the Hispanic students that were in Southwest Detroit were students that needed bilingual programs that they could not get in schools outside of that area that did not have those teachers. Sister Rosalie Esquerra, as a young sister, represented the Hispanic community, went to the school board, and took an action that made a big difference in the lives of many people. In petitioning the board for redress, she presented them with an apple. She then sliced the apple into pieces. And she said, "This is what you're doing to the Hispanic community in Southwest Detroit. You're splitting it up and you're moving it apart." Her argument won the day, The students weren't bussed out of the programs that were bilingual that would be for them. And so tonight, we have the chairman of the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Mark Marino, who is here to give significant credibility to that historic event. And I introduce Mr. Mark Marino.
Good evening, everyone. It is a privilege for my wife, Marcy, and I to be here tonight in your company and to celebrate and pay tribute to individuals that are in the business of transforming lives. The Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was founded in 1989 as a nonprofit organization to advance the economic and commercial welfare and prosperity of its Hispanic business members and the Hispanic community at large. Tonight, it is my honor to recognize and pay tribute to a person who has dedicated her life to providing hope to our youth and their families, to providing compassionate communication. Over her career, she has been recognized for her community service and outstanding contributions in the Detroit Public Schools. She has many accomplishments in the areas of education, leadership, mentoring, and bilingual and bicultural training for Hispanic youth and young adults. Tonight, I'd like to share with you glimpses of her walking with her people, recognizing the cultural diversity of the Hispanic community and promoting unity, inclusiveness, and education of Hispanic people. Tonight, I present the Spark of Hope Award to Sister Rosalie Sierra, Adrian Dominican's sister and co-founder of Life Directions. The third child of 13 kids born to Eva Torres and Raymond Badia Esquerra in Kingman, Arizona, Sister Rosalie remembers a very caring home environment as a young Mexican American. These fond memories of a loving and caring family extended to others in the community, as she vividly remembers her father and mother's way of treating people. Her father worked in construction and would often bring home strangers off the streets or coming through town to give them a meal. Her mother never complained and always had enough food. From a young age, she experienced prejudice and discrimination against Mexicans who weren't allowed to work in stores, and the need to overcome. Sister Rosalie would go on to make a career of being in la lucha, the struggle, always seeking how she could be a companion to those struggling and address the systemic issues from an equity standpoint, not equality. This approach has been pivotal in teaching hope to children and their parents. While recognized for her impact in the field of education, Sister Rosalie acknowledges that management by objectives has never been her style. She's not about measured academic outcomes and has made it her mission to focus on an attitude towards life versus prioritizing education. Instead, management by wandering is her style. According to Sister Rosalie, the results come from walking with you, engaging in a human relationship with you. Education is just along for the ride. And in doing so, she recognized that the differentiator is in the response, not in what you know or don't know, but how you listen and respond. This is the spark of hope. As white flight to the suburbs from Detroit took off in 1970s Michigan, Detroit's racial composition began to change. One of the places that was apparent was in the city's public school system. The movement of Detroit's white population to the suburbs left the city and its schools majority black. And the solution presented was inter-district busing, a plan where inner-city and suburban students would be bused together with a quota reflecting the region's diversity, not just the individual districts. From 1974 to 1976, Sister Rosalie was employed as the director of the Emergency School Assistance Act for La Sede, responsible to administer a federal grant to aid Hispanic youth and keep them in the Detroit public schools as busing began from Livonia to Detroit and Detroit to Livonia. Hispanic parents quickly realized the ramifications of such an experiment and were against this for their children and themselves. And it became evident to Sister Rosalie that the project would be difficult to administer for many reasons, not the least of which were due to the Spanish language barrier and transportation aspects for both the children and their parents. As a result, she made an historic, persuasive presentation to the Board of Education of Detroit Public Schools, arguing for the need to maintain bilingual education and the need to make decisions that help students and parents, not disrupt their lives. The criticality of not treating people like they are objects that can be moved around. The need to have conversation with each other and learn how to get along with people of diversity. And the need to demonstrate their value, walk alongside them, embrace them. And when she finished, one of the 20 Hispanic mothers in attendance presented a small apple to the Board of Education, communicating in Spanish with Sister Rosalie translating. This is what we have. I want you to slice it and share it with people on your board, providing a simple yet powerful visual of how the Hispanic community would be sliced to the core and divided through this experience. As our judge shared, the result was that the Board of Education rescinded its decision to bus the children out of Detroit, acknowledging that Hispanic children were not ready linguistically to communicate monolingually, and the need to start where people are versus preferred outcomes of where we want them to be. And so, inspired by the hearts of many mothers, Sister Rosalie drew from her heritage of being family, the importance of talking with each other, and never walking alone in the struggle. Out of this experience was a need for facilitators. Out of this came Focused Life, later changed to Life Directions. Hermana, gracias por tu ejemplo profundo y impactante en las vidas de tantos, en particular la juventud, la generación del futuro. Tu vida ha sido llena de chispas de esperanza que nuestro Señor ha utilizado para transformar vidas. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, please join me in celebrating our 2021 Spark of Hope Award recipient, to Sister Rosalie Esquerra, co-founder of Life Directions, in recognition of your pioneering spirit and commitment to the education and prosperity of Hispanic students.
Dios está aquí, qué hermoso es. Él lo prometió donde hay dos o tres. Quédate, Señor, quédate, Señor, quédate, Señor, aquí. El Espíritu de Dios se mueve, se mueve, se mueve. El Espíritu de Dios se mueve dentro de mi corazón. And just know that the Spirit of God, as He moves in my heart, moves in yours. Some of these points were mentioned already, but when I want to thank you, Mark, for your comments. You certainly captured my story. Thank you so much. I see myself standing with the 20 mothers in front of the school board. They all spoke in Spanish, and at the end, the school board said, okay, we'll keep bilingual education. And Jane Pentecost is a mother that encouraged the involvement of the Hispanic women. If you know Hispanics, many times the mothers especially are not hyper involved. But because of the encouragement and walking, Jane was able to get them together, and these 20 men and women are the ones that presented to the board in Spanish their demand for this good education for their children. And Ruben and Bertha, they've been my partners for almost 50 years. And
We were young. We were young.
And again, it's so important to touch the heart. And the only way you touch the heart is by being in communication. And so Ruben and Bertha walked with me and helped me listen and receive what the people were sharing. I place before you my prayer of thanks, which is a channel of God's love that flows through me to you. You too are channels of the Creator's love. Now I invite you to put your hands up, and symbolically it's being open to receive the Creator's love. Now, it's not just receiving, He received so that you can share, not turn them over. And the love of the Creator flows through you, flows through me to others. I pray we remember we are sparks of hope. And for young people, and I place before you this prayer of thanks for the love of God and caring that comes to us from the Creator. And again, it just flows through me. And that is, the Lord is here with us. And as we are open to receive His love, we remember that we're a channel of His love, and as a channel, it touches other people. So Dios está aquí, qué hermoso es. Él lo prometió donde hay dos o tres. He promised that He is with us wherever there are two or three together. So remember this as you continue to walk, and thank you so much for walking with us. We need you, and what we need is not just your money. It's your loving, caring attention and support. You have embraced the vision that we have, and that is to love, encourage, support our young people.
Gracias. Gracias, gracias, gracias.
We want to thank Sister Rosalie for that mid-meal prayer. That is her prayer. Was that a beautiful prayer?
Just so you know, we have walked together for over close to 50 years. Father John, Father Alex, and myself began the walk, and we invited Reuben and Bertha, Judy and Alex McDonald, and Will and Tina O'Sullivan that walked with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Rosalie, for such an amazing legacy, for helping us not only with all we've received from you, but for helping us learn to give it to each other and also back to you. So another round of applause for Sister Rosalie. Now I'm going to invite you to just enjoy your dinner, enjoy the music by Swing Shift Orchestra. We'll be back to give you a 10-minute warning before the silent auction closes. It is still very much open, so please sign up and sign loud. And bon appetit. Enjoy the last of your dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know, you still have a good probably 15, 20 minutes on the silent auction. So if you want to get your names in on there on the silent auction, you still have time to do that. We're going to get moving, though, on the rest of the evening. We have just a few awards, and then we want to get to our live auction, which will be, no doubt, the most exciting part of the evening. But before we get started, we have a proclamation that we want to make sure is heard by all. And this is a proclamation for Sister Rosalie. Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Hi again. I know we're wrapping up dinner, but I didn't want to miss an opportunity on behalf of the Detroit City Council and Councilwoman Raquel Castaneda-Lopez for District 6. We'd like to present Sister Rosalie with a declaration, that reads as follows. Sister Rosalie was born in Kingman, Arizona, to Raymond and Eva, the third of 13 children. The Escada family valued education and ministry. Sister Rosalie is a Siena Heights University alum, holds a master's degree in education, a bachelor's in philosophy, and is a certified conflict mediator. Sister Rosalie became a member of Adrian Dominican Sisters in 1955, where a majority of her early career she served as a teacher and principal, creating a supportive learning culture for youth with special academic needs. And she co-founded Life Directions. And I'll stop there because we've heard her great achievements and it's also printed in your book tonight. But again, on behalf of the Detroit City Council and Councilwoman Castaneda-Lopez, who is also a champion for language access and bilingual education, we say thank you for your service. We honor your spark. Many talked about hope tonight, but we honor the spark that led you into the ministry that you have brought to the city of Detroit and across the nation. Thank you again. And if you could join me as a community rights activist, Councilwoman is really big on speaking people's name. So if you could join me in repeating Sister Rosalie 3 times tonight, I would greatly appreciate it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sister Rosalie. Sister Rosalie. Sister Rosalie. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
thank you so much. Let's get to it, because I could talk about Patrick all night. If you know Patrick, you know the P doesn't just stand for Patrick, it stands for passion. His commitment to charity after charity after charity. Like now he's raising some $26 million to restore St. Anne's Church. But let's be real. Behind every great man, there is one incredible mama. And at 78, Mama Rita was still in the kitchen at Roman Village last night. She has been working in the restaurant for 57 years. She has fed more people than anybody else in this room. She doesn't miss a beat. Feeding the frontline workers during the pandemic, the heroes of the last 18 months, the homeless. You see, the big heart that Mama Rita has is the one she gave directly to Patrick, to her children, to her grandchildren. So here, to introduce the next honoree, please welcome Patrick Ruggiero and his beautiful mama, Mama Rita, also a Guiding Light Award winner.
Or something. Hello again, everybody. So I have the pleasure tonight of introducing our honoree this year for the Guiding Light. And it's tradition that the former year's honoree comes up and says a few words. And so my mom here, who has never been at a loss for words, when she's screaming at her 4 boys or screaming at her 13 grandchildren, or her 300 employees, now all of a sudden she doesn't, no, she's a little shy when it comes to this. Come on, Ma. You do it? Okay. She said she'd like to do it in Italian for those that understand Italian. So this award is the Guiding Light, which are people in our community that are a light, a beacon of light for goodness, sounds like our kitchen, and the greatest people in this community have received this award. We have Frank Venegas here tonight, who has been a guiding light in our community and an honoree, I think, 4 years ago. And there's a few other, I think, in the room, but these lights, I can't see anything. And our friend who we just talked about, Jack Aronson, was a guiding light, and he should be up here, but he is up here. He's watching over from above with my dad and all the other great souls that departed before. And I met Paul some years ago and got to be great friends with him too, another great person doing great things in the community. And I can draw parallels with him and Frank, my mom, Jack, these guiding lights. And so we discussed it at the board and decided to nominate him as our Guiding Light awardee last year. Unfortunately, we had this pandemic, and a lot of people went through a great deal of turmoil, including us in the restaurant business, and his industry was hit tremendously hard. The movie theaters, I'm sure you've seen it, it was in the media a lot, and he suffered a great deal, and a lot of industries have suffered through this. And there's been people that have said, you know, Patrick, this year I can't sponsor, this year I can't be involved because things are so tough. But Paul never wavered. He said, listen, whatever we need for Life Directions, it's doing great work in our community. He continued to support us. And I can't think of a better nomination for the Guiding Light Award than Paul Glantz. So please, Paul, can you come on up here, please? It's your mic, so I'd like to say a few words.
I would. Thank you, Mama Rita.
Stand here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick, Mama Rita, Aronson family in particular, I am truly grateful and humbled by this lovely award. I want to express my gratitude and deep thanks to Father John Phelps and the entire board of Life Directions Detroit for bestowing upon me this lovely recognition. I've been blessed with enormous good fortune in my life, including being raised by two adoring parents and having the good fortune to marry the love of my life, Mary, who's with me tonight. I believe in the mission of Life Directions. I think that mentoring and benefiting as a mentee is enormously important to one's life progression. I've had the privilege of being mentored in my life. And so with that, I want to acknowledge and thank the Board of Directors again for the wonderful work that they're doing on behalf of the youth of Detroit. And again, express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for bestowing this wonderful award on me. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Mr. Glantz. One more round of applause. Now everybody leave here and go to a movie at Imagine Theater. Our next honoree demonstrates all that is possible and what you can make happen when you support Life Directions. To introduce this award, please welcome the Director of Training from Life Directions, Annette Howard.
Thank you, Liza. This evening, it gives me great pleasure and pride to introduce our Lifetime Achievement Award, Kim Adams House. Kim and I go back to grade school. And I recall Kim was an intellect, a model student. And we went on. And in high school, we both were introduced to a program that initially was called Life Search, which is now, which most of you have heard, is Life Directions. We went through Life Search, and to ensure that after that experience, we would have a chance at life. Our founders, Father John, Father Alex Steinmiller, Sister Rosalie Esquera, Alex and Judith McDonald, ensured that circles were in place whereby we could develop our social and emotional learning skills. When we hear social emotional learning, today that's a buzzword. But in our circle, which was led by Father Moran, who was a young adult, Will and Martina O'Sullivan, we learned to be accountable as we as peers inspired one another. We learned how to be sociably aware, how to manage our emotions. The very thing that we do with young people today. And so many of you heard my story, but there are many. And Kim Adams' house is one such person. Father John and I were talking over a year ago, and I was sharing the accomplishments of Kim. And he looked at me and said, Annette, that's lifetime achievement. Kim has gone on to achieve so much in her young life. She's head Chrysler Jeep advertising, and now she's head of all brand in Chrysler. And we're so proud of her because she's an alumna of Life Directions. And so with great pride, I like to introduce to some and present to others our Lifetime Achievement recipient, Kim Adams House. I'm going to ask Kathleen McCann if you would come up and do the honors.
Thank you. Thank you. So, if you'll allow me the honor, I'd like to just share a little bit more while we embarrass Kim, just a little bit more, because one of the benefits and beauties of being involved in Life Directions is that you get to meet so many amazing people, and certainly my opportunity to meet Kim Adams House was one of those gifts that Life Directions has given me. So she has notched a considerable number of accomplishments in her career, there's no doubt. But we all know it's the whole of a person's contributions that are recognized in a Lifetime Achievement Award. And when I asked what prompted LD to pick Kim among so many other deserving professionals, the answers I received first, before some of the wonderful things that we just heard from Annette, weren't just the professional accomplishments, but they began with these. Kim has always been intelligent and generous and ambitious in a positive way. Nothing could ever stop her from reaching her goals. She was a caring, joyful, dedicated friend, still is, fantastic mentor and role model for others. She has a magnetic personality, style with a capital S, okay? Her own brand, if you will. She's a great mom, and she has a deeply held value and beliefs fueled and renewed by strong faith in God. These are the important things. These are the things that matter most. They're the things that she and others here would hope for all the young people in our Life Directions program today. And to those students who are here, as you just heard, Kim was influenced deeply by her life search experience. The predecessor organization to Life Directions, she learned firsthand through her own lived experience the power that comes from that trusted circle of friends and capable mentors. It was her path of discovery to who she was as a person. And Kim, these many decades later, still counts these Life Search Circle members as dear friends. She grew up the youngest of 4 children, I found out, to her loving parents who were married nearly 60 years. They taught you and your siblings the importance of family, hard work, serving others, and more importantly, her faith. You can actually see the pride and hear her gratitude when she talks of her parents, describing her mom as a master of social work and her father as a mechanical engineer, even without degrees. She gets her detail from her father, and she gets her heart from her mom. She actually had two fathers, as it turns out, her own, but also Father Robert Morand, her parish priest, dear family friend, better said, member of the family, and one responsible for encouraging her engagement in Life Search. So Father Moran helped all the Life Search teens, as Annette said, his children, focus on their spiritual growth, making sure that they knew God loved them and had given them gifts unique to them alone and had a plan for them. They were lovable and capable. I was listening. Yes, a fundamental recurring message for those teens. God desired their happiness, and he wanted them to be the very best version of themselves. She attended St. Teresa Catholic Grade School and then Immaculata High School before attending U of M and then George Washington University, where she earned a degree in psychology and an MBA in finance, respectively. In her early years, she worked at the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. I bet the budgets were a little smaller back then, huh? And then she went through a nonprofit and then to General Motors, shifting from finance to sales and marketing. She joined what was then Daimler Chrysler AG a mere 22 years ago, beginning what would be a long and successful ride with the iconic Jeep brand. And as noted, she's held several leadership positions with various brands in the Jeep portfolio and served as the head of Jeep advertising before assuming her current role as head of all brands, licensing and merchandising for what is now known as Stellantis. During Kim's laudable career, she has been involved with a number of charities and a recipient of many awards and recognitions for her work, both professionally and personally. And I don't have time to go through them all here, but a few of the most notable. She and her team won the Super Clio Award for the best Super Bowl ad, and it is tough to beat out the Clydesdales, so that was quite an accomplishment. She and her marketing team were named Marketer of the Year by Advertising Age, and she's been honored as one of the top executives of the year in advertising and marketing by Black Enterprise Magazine, and she was recently honored as one of the businesses powered by women, and I could go on, and I'm almost done. But when asking Kim what she views as her greatest achievement so far, her two sons were named without a moment's hesitation. Garrett, an MIT graduate in the field of brain and cognitive sciences, he's currently working with Boston University as a neuroscience researcher, and Ross, a graduate of Wharton, who works in business development with a New York firm called Thinknum, helping companies make better marketing decisions by using alternative data, et cetera. They're both here tonight from out of town to support their mom. It's great to have you here tonight, gentlemen. And I will say, in discussing her own career path with your mom, we both agreed that to find a career path that brings you joy is a gift from God. And so we wish you both the same. Speaking of joy, it has been a great joy to get to know the woman that I'm also going to introduce to you. Our careers are indeed blessings and made so even more by the ability to use our gifts to help others become the best versions of themselves. Kim, you are so inspiring to many, including me, and I hope many of the young people here tonight have the opportunity to get to know you too. So in the words taught so well by Life Search those decades ago, ladies and gentlemen, allow me also to introduce Life Direction's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, the lovable and capable Kim Adams House.
Wow. In a word. I just have a few remarks, and first and foremost, I would like to thank Life Directions and its board for this acknowledgement. It's truly, truly humbling. When I think back in the early 70s, that we were young teenagers entrusting our Catholic priest to embark on this journey that we knew nothing about. And 40 plus years later, I stand before you, the recipient of an award that in its core recognizes the importance of support and confidence and spiritual guidance as the very foundation. Kathleen, thank you for such gracious words of acknowledgement. And I think I've already said, just how important it is. And Annette, we go back a long way, as you said. And for you and Father John to see befitting to give this award to me, again, is quite humbling. And so my story and my journey, my climb, was framed and enriched by so many, allowing me to see my dreams become a reality. It's my parents, Ernest and Louise Adams, my family who's here, my friends, all contributed to this personal development. My parents, Louise and Ernest Adams, played such a pivotal role in my spiritual and personal development. From my mother, the constant message heard over and over again that I was, in fact, lovable and capable. This was such an important message to hear as a young person, and one that my siblings, our children, and any young person that was fortunate enough to be in the presence of my mother, they consistently heard it from her. From my father, Ernest Adams, I learned humility. A giant of a man with many talents and gifts, but was often known to say, when we would make a fuss over him, "What did I do to deserve all of this?" He was a man who lived and loved in his own way. Father Moran, we've heard much about him this evening, was not just my priest from the age of 7, but a true member of our family, as well as a mentor, a friend, and a spiritual beacon who was solely responsible for making my introduction into not only Life Search, but Life Directions, but was also instrumental in helping me to navigate that all-important journey of becoming my authentic self. He was to me, and I've said this many times, the closest I had known to an example of living one's life in the true spirit of Christ here on earth. My mother, my father, and Father Moran are no longer here to share in this day, but I know they are looking down from above, giddy with excitement and joy. So in 1974, more than 40 years ago, my introduction to Life Search, Life Directions began. As I said, my journey, my story, my climb were the result of those that I have previously mentioned. But I will say that my ability to soar and remove those obstacles that would serve to limit me or have me question my worthiness to reach new heights began on that fall weekend when I was 16 years old and a high school student, when our watches were removed along with the clocks on the walls so that we were able to focus on ourselves, our spiritual relationship with God, in an effort to better understand who we wanted to be and how we would want to be remembered. So many tools were shared in what evolved from that all-important weekend to become a circle, our circle of support that allowed me and others to unconditionally hear and understand the value of ourselves absent of any judgment. Ever important ingredients that gives one the wings to not only fly, but to soar. My empathy was born of this experience so that I can feel for those who are less fortunate and those that are in need. My relationships were strengthened through experience so that I am able to be ever present in the lives of those who surround me. My parenting has also been enlightened, not only giving life and love, but creating an ever-evolving journey as part of my parental role as I play in the lives of my sons, Garrett and Ross. I am honored to have learned to be vulnerable, open, in an effort to be my best self, with the hope of giving each of you the confidence and belief that you can strive for the same. Creating your journey and your story, your climb, and the resiliency it takes not just to fly, but to soar. So again, I thank you for this honor. I believe that each of us deserves to be honored in this journey of becoming and seeing our truth and our own light, coming full circle and working to achieve it for ourselves and the many others that we may touch along the way. That is truly the gift and ultimately a part of the mission of Life Directions, giving everyone of us the chance to fulfill each and every one of our dreams. Thank you.
Oh my God, she was fabulous. We have to say Kim 3 times. You ready? Kim, Kim, Kim. Let's hear it. So we get it now. The impact an organization can have on a person. Not just that day or that week or that month, but years later, generations later. It's with that in mind that I now invite to the podium Chris Aslanian, our incredible auctioneer, who is here again. Give us a taste of what we might have tonight.
Well, we got a lot of great things, but before we get into that, first of all, how about a round of applause for our MC?
Aw.
That smile, that's going to make you bid. It makes it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Now,
What are you most excited about when we do these auction items?
I'm most excited about making sure nobody walks out of here with any money left.
All right,
That's what I'm
good.
most excited about.
All right, then if we really want to do that, I think we need to show them specifically where the money is going, because if we're asking you to dig deep, you need to understand what it's all about. So take a look.
My name is Shaylee's King, and I am a board member of Life Directions, and I serve on the Life Directions Mentorship Leaderboard, and I assist with their peer-to-peer mentorship interaction with the youth.
My name is Ahmad, and I have been a peer mentor for Life Directions for the past 2.5 years.
My name's Lisbeth, and I've been involved with Life Directions for 4 years, all throughout high school.
My name is Ricardo. I was in the program all my high school, and in college I was an urban agriculturalist as well as a mentor.
My name is Magdalena Kokoszynska, and I am currently an adult mentor at Life Directions.
My first introduction to Life Directions was Father John coming into my English class, and at some point I decided to go in. It felt like I was actually contributing to their lives.
A lot of these students just need somebody that can inspire them to want to pursue something for themselves. It just helps to have like this pipeline of like mentors that can help.
Life Directions is a wonderful organization. It's about peers, inspiring peers. I love the fact that children can learn from one another. They have that power to interest other children and really share what you have taught them to one another.
They are all super humble, wonderful individuals. A lot of them struggle or come from either broken homes or financial instability, which I completely relate with as well. And what I hope for them is that they reach a point where they pursue their dreams in a way that is limitless.
Life Directions has impacted me in many ways, and most importantly to me is, relating to the people of Detroit.
For students to learn, it's a two-way street. The student has to, want to be in that space to learn, so they have to be able to think that they can. And as we go through it with it, it's like patience on both parts, like the students to try to learn and both the educator to help them.
It's important to listen to the youth. While I'm teaching them, I need to make sure that I'm listening to them so they can teach me. You have to be open and willing to listen to them. And so that's what I really like about Life Directions, and what that's really impacted me since I've been there.
We do a lot of group activities and events. They're super fun, they're collaborative. We engage with each other, so whether it's in dialogue or team activities, is a really special and unique experience. And I think that we all walk away more refreshed, more open-minded, more aware of the impact that we can have in the world.
We started in urban gardening and trying to promote healthier eating options in the community. And that felt more big picture because we were actually going around and try to give produce to the local food market.
Your greatest rewards come from when you do things for others. And so I hope to see them become successful in things that they want to do. Everyone doesn't go along on the same path. Everybody has a different path in life. And I just really, really want to ensure that they are selecting the right path for them.
I just want to, instill in my students and all the students of Life Directions that whatever is going on, it's okay. There's always a way, there's always an opportunity to change and to do better. Life Directions gave me the outlook to look into how everyone lives their daily lives and give me the opportunity to contribute. And with my future plans in medicine, I want to come back and practice in Detroit. And a big part of that is because of Life Directions.
I think the biggest thing that Life Directions has given me is learning joy from others and humility. Looking at the youth and the way that they are, how humble they are, really touched me in a really unique and special way. It taught me to listen more, to be open to listening each individual's journeys and stories. And it taught me to be joyful and happy, even in difficult moments.
I would definitely encourage the youth to definitely give yourself a chance and try new things and get involved as much as you possibly can.
If there is any donors out there who can still support the program, of course, please donate so that this program can continue running for all the students.
All right, so I think that it is only appropriate that we're at the beautiful world headquarters for General Motors, because this is a part of the evening where the rubber meets the road.
Amen.
So you were given a bid paddle, and we do live in the world of social media. And can we turn those lights down just a little bit so I can see them? We'd like to get a photo of everyone holding that bid paddle up all at once. So if you could get those bid paddles out, I know you found them there. There it is. All right, Father John, start writing numbers down. All right, there we go. There it is. So those are magic bid paddles. You'll have an opportunity to make magic with those here shortly. We've got really, really exciting live auction items, and then we've got a really exciting part happening right after that called Fund the Mission. And for our first item, what is it we have?
First item is Where's the Beef? This was donated by O'Donnell Electric. It's a unique opportunity to stock up on high-quality, grass-fed, non-GMO beef. A side of beef will actually be transported to the butcher and standard cut process to be picked up November 2021. You get the beef.
All right, that sounds amazing. How about a round of applause for them for donating that? That's great.
In time for Thanksgiving or
right?
Christmas.
Now, before I get going, I have one quick question for you, and I want a rousing I'm in General Motors World Headquarters response, and that is, are you ready to have an auction?
Woo!
It's not bad, but I'm in the Rensen Winter Garden. I think we can do better than that, don't you? I'm going to ask you again, are you ready to have an auction? There it is. All right, I'm gonna come right off the stage because the lights are so bright I can't even see you. So here we go. Let's get it started. Start at 1,000. Let's go. At $1,000 beat with 1,000. There's 1,000 there. Make it $1,250. I got 1,000 now. $1,250 beat. By the way, she's not inviting you over for that beef. You have to bid. I got 1,000 there. Make it $1,250 beat with $1,250 where? I got 1,000 there. Now $1,250 beat with $1,250. $1,250's there. $1,500 you want in. He's at $1,250. You want back in at $1,500. 1,500's there. Now 17 and a half. Here we go. At 1750. Yes, you should. 1750. Make it 2,000. Don't look at him. Look at me. 2,000. Thank you. Now 22 and a half. I got 2,000. Now 22 and a half. Here we go. Don't be such a gentleman now. At 22 and a half. I got 2,000 there. Make it 2250 where? I got 2,000 there. Say 22 and a half. Last chance. You what? I don't know, but it's plenty. And you just bought it. I sold it out right there. Big round of applause for buyer number 122.
Congratulations, you got the beef. Let's move on to our Crystal Lake Ski Retreat. This private cabin with beautiful views of Crystal Lake will be your winter retreat for 4 nights. Perfect for a couple or a young family with up to 2 children. It has a queen bed, a loft that sleeps an additional 1 to 2 kids, full bath, a kitchenette, a large refrigerator. Take to the slopes with 4 all-day ski passes at Crystal Mountain, then relax and watch the snowfall into the night. It is available in January and February 2022.
So there may just be a flake or 2 of snow in January and February. Crystal Mountain. And you want to go, Patrick. I know you do. All right, how about a round of applause for him for donating that? That's awesome. All right, let's get it started. Start me out at 1,000. Let's go. At $1,000 beat with 1,000. Here we go. Tax deductible skiing. It doesn't get any better than that. There's 1,000. Make it $1,250. I got 1,000. Now $1,250 beat with $1,250 where? There's 1,000 there. Now $1,250. Here we go. I saved you money on the first one at $1,250. All right, there it is. $1,250. Now $1,500. I got $1,250. Now $1,500. He doesn't mind. $1,500. Now 17 and a half. Here we go. $1,750's there. Make it $2,000. Here we go. $2,000 at a girl. Now 22 and a half. I got $2,000. Now 22 and a half. 22 and a half. Make it 25. I got 22 and a half. We almost have him beat. 25's there. Now 27.50. Here we go. I don't hear any applause. I don't hear any encouragement. 27 and a half. Here we go at 27.50. 27 and a half, make it $3,000 bid. I got 27.50, look right here at me, at 3,000. Here we go, 3,000's there, now 32 and a half. I got 3,000, now 32 and a half. Father, give him the eye. At 32 and a half, I got 3,000, now 30. You can't say no to Father. At 32 and a half, I got 3,000 there, and she's not inviting you. Say 32 and a half, last chance. I sold it out 3,000. Big round of applause for buyer number 297.
What's up, baby? How are you? Moving on to our chef-prepared, now we're moving to our chef-prepared 5-course dinner for 6. A lifelong Woodbridge, Detroit resident, Chef Jeff has been living, breathing, and creating amazing food for more than 25 years. Passionate about the art of food and cooking, Chef Jeff is sure to create a memorable dining experience for your party of 6 in your very own home. A custom 5-course dinner to include amuse-bouche, appetizer, accompaniments, main, and dessert. We have even included a section of 4 bottles of wine to complement your meal. So, we have the dinner, we have the wine. It's within 50 miles of Detroit. It is not available on holidays or holiday adjacent weekends, and it expires 1 year from today.
And how about we get a big round of applause for Jeff Chef. Jeff, can you stand up? Thank you, my friend, for donating that. He is going to make your experience a special night you will not forget. All right, here we go. Let's get it started. Start at 1,000. Let's go. At $1,000, be able to 1,000 where? Let's go. You don't have to cook or clean up. There's 1,000. Now $1,250. Now $1,500. Here we go. At $1,500. Make it 17. Don't look at him. Look at me. At 17 and a half. He doesn't care. At $1,750. Don't you think he should bid $1,750? Don't you think he bid 17 and a half? There it is. Now $2,000. I'll be right back, guys. 2,000's there. Now 22 and a half. Here we go. We're just having fun. At 22 and a half. I got 2,000 there. It's your turn at 22 and a half. It's only same money at 22 and a half. I got 2,000. He's not inviting you, especially now. You made him pay more money at 22 and a half. I got 2,000 there. You guys can bid too at 22 and a half. I got 2,000 right there. What do you say at 22 and a half? One more time. I got 2,000 up there. You got to bid. Don't try to be his friend after once he buys. I got 2,000 there. 22 and a half. There it is. I got 22 and a half, now 25. I got 22 and a half, make 2,500 there. Now 27.50, 27 and a half, make it 3,000. Here we go. I got 27 and a half, now 3,000. 3,000's there. Now 32 and a half. I got 3,000, now 32 and a half. 4,000's right there. Now 4,500. I got 4,000. Now 4,500. It's okay. There's still time at 4,500. I got 4,000 there. It's for the children. Say 4,500. Last chance. All in. All done. Last chance. I'll get your money later. I sold it out 4,000. Yeah. Big round of applause for buyer number 245.
Bon appetit. Moving on to our custom-made complete suit. For more than 60 years, Chetini Custom Clothiers has served the most discerning clients in Metro Detroit and across the country. This tradition is continued by our owner and experienced custom clothier, Rick DePansis, who's, by the way, who's here, trained extensively in styling, measuring, and construction. The reputation continues to this day with a staff dedicated to dressing businessmen and women, celebrities, athletes, and any clients who realize the importance of a well-developed wardrobe. Your custom suit begins with a highly skilled clothier, taking your exact measurements, specifications, creating each garment from scratch in their stately tailor room. 26 precise individual measurements are taken to create a suit that fits you and nobody else. Choose among an endless fabric selection accompanied by unlimited color and pattern schemes and any style to make any suit a possibility.
All right, and I know after this long pandemic and all the Zoom calls, staying at home, a lot of us are going to need new suits. So I'm just going to say, and Rick, how about a round of applause for Rick? He does just outstanding work. Now, there's a little caveat, and it's really important that you listen to this because he has offered you an option. You can do the full suit, matching tie, shirt, the whole thing, or he can do a sport coat with slacks and a shirt and tie, whichever you prefer. And it's your choice if you're the winning bidder. So does that make sense? We're good? All right, so here we go. Let's get it started. Let's do it. We're gonna get a new post-COVID war robe. Getting it started right now. Here we go. Start me at 1,000. Let's go. At $1,000. There's 1,000 there. Make it $1,250. I got 1,000 now. $1,250 to be. What about $1,250? I know there might be an executive or two here. $1,250. There it is. 1,500. I got 1,250 now. 1,500. Make it 17 and a half. Take a glass of wine. Great idea. At 17 and a half. There it is. Now 2,000. I got 1,750. Make it $2,000 to be with 2,000. Here we go. That's all right. At 2,000. 2,000's there. Now 22 and a half. I got 2,000. Make it $2,250 to be with 2,250. 22 and a half. Make it 3,000. I got 22 and a half. Now $3,000 to be with 3,000 where? I got 20
right
there. 3,000's right there. Now 32 and a half. 3,000. You want in at 32 and a half. I saved you all that money. 32 and a half. Attaboy. 32 and a half. Make it 3,500. I got 32 and a half. Now 35. You're both out at 3,500. Yes, she wants you to do it at 3,500. And everybody wants you to do it, don't they? At 3,500. I got 32 and a half now. Only 3,500. 3,500 there. Make it 3,750. You're both out at 37 and a half. I got 3,500. Now 3,750. You know what? Hold on one second. Rick, are you here? If they all want to do one, would you do one for each one, all three of them? What do you say? He'll do it times 3. What do you say? All right, let's do it. I sold it for 3,500 to buyer number, what's your number? 119. Do you want one? Buyer number 191. Do you want one? Buyer number 297. Hey, Rick. How about a big round of applause for him? We just did that times 3. That's how you do that. Well done, Rick. That's how you do that.
$10,500. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. All right, here's the one many have been waiting for. At home in Italy. Experience Italy like never before. Patrick, you should be helping me with this one.
Patrick, you're not going anywhere yet. Get up here.
A private home located in the quaint little town of Branca de Gubbio. Am I saying it right? All right, in Perugia. It's perfectly located in Italy to allow for a day trip to Florence, Pisa, Rome, Venezia. And at the end of the day, enjoy all of your home away from home offers. Full modern amenities, 4 bedrooms with queen-size beds, 4 bathrooms, 2 full kitchens, 2 dining rooms, washer, dryer, air conditioning, heat, beautiful patio. It's valid for trips now through 2022. You'll come up with a mutually agreeable date. Airfare, by the way, not included, but this was donated, of course, by the Ruggiero family.
All right, and I'm going to have Patrick tell you a little bit about it. I was going to go over to Mama, but she would get upset with me, and I've seen what she does to these guys. So I'm going to let Patrick do it.
Again, thank you. This house is amazing. It was built back, 1918? 1912, sometime around World War I, after Grandpa or great-grandpa came back from fighting in the war. And it's been in the family for 3 generations now. My mom's completely modernized it because she has to have air conditioning, just like America. She's got to have a washer and a dryer, unlike most homes in Italy. So this thing is completely modernized. It sleeps, it's got 4 beautiful bedrooms, 8 people, and you probably put a couple more in there. But we don't rent it out. There's no bed and breakfast place. She does this for charity. So we appreciate it, and we look forward to getting some good bids for Life Direction. So thank you. Thank you, Mom.
All right, so there you go. How about one more round of applause? They every year, it's amazing. They just keep giving and giving. All right, let's get it started. What do you say? Start me out at 5,000. Let's go. 5,000's there. Make it 5,500. I got 5,000 now. 5,500 now to be able to be 55. I can't hear you. I don't hear any excitement. 5,500's there. Now 6,000. Yes, you should. 6,000. Now 65. Don't worry about her. Worry about me. At 6,500. Yes, you should. 65. Make it 7,000. Here we go. 7,000's there. Now 7,500. I don't hear any applause. At 7,500. Here we go. 7,500. Make it 8,000. Now 85. Here we go. We're just having fun. At 8,500. 85. Make it 9,000. Here we go. At 9,000 there. Now 9,500. Pull that bid out at 9,500. Here we go. At 9,500 there. Now 10,000 even money. It's just an extra 0. At 10,000. I got 9,500. She's going to your trip to Italy. 10 grand. There it is. Now 10,500. I got 10,000. Now 10,500. Here we go. At 10,000 there. Make it 10,500. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. 10,500, here we go. You know what? Hold on, Patrick has a little something to say.
What do you think? We do 2 weeks, 10,000 each? Hey, all right. Anybody else?
All right, we sold it twice. There we go. You have to go the same week as her. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. Oh, there you go. Buyer number 248. And buyer number 122. We just doubled our money. Thank you again to everybody. That's awesome.
That was fabulous. Congratulations to all of our travelers. And now, a blue blazer by Tony Rocco. Rocco's art career began while Tony worked on the line at Ford's Michigan assembly plant. Take a look. Ford management recognized his talents and named Tony Ford's resident artist and commissioned him to paint murals in many Ford facilities to beautify these buildings and bolster employee morale. Rocco's signature portraits celebrate the human figure with vivid, brilliant colors inspired by Detroit's industrial past. Rocco has painted commissions for Jay Leno, Lady Gaga, the Holocaust Museum, and was named Detroit's best fine artist by Our Magazine for 5 consecutive years. We're honored to offer this limited edition Giclée reproduction on canvas, donated by the artist himself. Blue Blazer is one in a series of works paying homage to all the hardworking folks of the restaurant and service industry who were so impacted by the pandemic. Blue Blazer celebrates the dignity and panache of the craft cocktail geniuses of your favorite bar, donated by Art by Rocco.
All right, and one other thing I want to tell you about this. This particular one obviously is donated for Life Direction, but he saw the need in the restaurant industry through this pandemic, And this is part of a series of his restaurant relief. It's called the Restaurant Relief Series, and he hangs them in restaurants. And when they sell, it goes to the restaurants to help them through it. How about a round of applause? That's awesome. But this one tonight is going to be for Life Directions, and there you go. Let's get it started right there. Start me out at 1,000. Let's go. At 1,000. By the way, this is an artist proof, by the way. He wanted me to tell you this is an artist proof, which is different than just a print. So the difference, and I had to ask him, once they send paintings in to get a proof, to get them screen printed and printed, they have several times where they go, no, I don't like that proof, I don't like that proof, and then they get one they like, and then they run, a bunch of them. This is a proof that was not first approved for the whole whack of them. So there's very few of these proofs that are done, and that's what an artist proof is, and that's what he donated. Here we go. At 1,000, let's go. At $1,000 be able to 1,000, we're at 500. Let's get it started. At $500 be able to be 500, don't be shy. At $500 be able to be 500, yes you should. There's 500 there, make it 600. I got 6 there, now $700 be able to be 7 where? I got 6, make it $700. You don't know anybody in the restaurant business, do you, that would do it 700. 700, there it is, now 800. I got 7, now $800. I am shameless when it comes to Life Directions. Now 800, I got 700 there, 800 there, make it 900, here we go. At 900, 1,000 even money, don't worry about him. 1,000, now 1,100. I got 1,000, now $1,100 bid. He's going to be upset if you don't buy it. At 1,100, I got 1,000 there. Make it $1,100 bid. 1,100 where? I got 1,000 there. Say 1,100. Last chance. Sold it at 1,000. Big round of applause for buyer number 121.
Now let's go for the Red Wings suite. For the ultimate Red Wings fan, host your family, friends, or coworkers in a private suite at the Little Caesars Arena. You're going to choose a regular season game on a mutually agreeable date. The suite has 16 tickets for guests. The restrictions, a mutually agreeable date during the regular season, donated by a friend of Life Directions.
So that means when we go to the Stanley Cup Finals this year, you can't use it for that. You have to use it for a regular season. But I know this is the year. I can feel it. So here we go. How about a round of applause for them for donating that? That's awesome. That's great. 16 people, up to 16 people. Let's get it started. And if you don't have 16 friends, I'll come and join you. Let's get it started right there. Start me at 1,000. Let's go. At $1,000 be able to 1,000 where? You can't go. It's everywhere. I'm going to take her first. Ladies first. At 1,000, make it 1,250. I got 1,000, now $1,250 be able to 1,250. 1,250's there, now 1,500. I got 1,250, you're both out now at 1,500. 1,250's over there, now $1,500 be able to be 1,500. Yes, you should. Go ahead, 1,500 there, now 17 and a half. I got 1,750, make it $2,000 be able to be 2,000. I got 17 and a half, now 2,000. Yes, you should. At $2,000 be able to be 2,000. There you go, 2,000, now 22 and a half. I got 2,000, 22 and a half. Make it 3,000. I got 22 and a half. Now $3,000 bid. Here we go. We take credit cards. Don't worry about it. At 3,000, I got 22 and a half. 3,000's there. Now 32 and a half. What do you say? I got 3,000. Make it 32.50. Here we go. One more time. 32 and a half, now 3,500. I got 32.50. Make it 3,500. I'll be able to 35. Here we go. At 3,500, I'll be able to 35. There's still time. At 3,500. I got 32 and a half there. And he's going to your Red Wings game. Say 3,500. Last chance. He says he'll just go to your theater and let you buy it. Sold it out right there. Big round of applause. 32 and a half to our honoree tonight and buyer number 191.
We have one last item. We call this the legacy. Think of somebody in your life whose story needs to be told. Capture the story of a family member so that it'll last for generations. Real Integrated, an advertising and brand storytelling agency, will interview one of your family members on video, edit together a collection of their stories. Imagine the stories of your parents, your grandparents, preserved in their own words. What do they remember about childhood, parents, what stories they've been told? What is their story of love and life, their career, military service, hobbies, interests, words of wisdom? The final video will be up to 15 minutes. It'll be like a documentary and provided on a jump drive for easy distribution. To begin, they'll schedule a 30-minute call, discuss the details of your video, who the subject is, what types of info are you interested in capturing. They'll discuss any historical photography you may have, and that you can bring to the video shoot for them to include in the edit. And then a 1.5-hour interview video to be shot at their studio in Troy, and your video will be created.
That is a cool item. That is amazing. How about a round of applause for them for donating that? That is really, really a unique item. I've never sold anything like that. So we're going to find out what it does tonight. So just so you know, this is our last live auction item of the night, but not our last part. We have one more really exciting part that everybody's involved with immediately following this. But before we get to that, let's get this item sold. Here we go. Starting at $1,000. Let's go. At $1,000 bid, $1,000 where? At $1,000 bid, $500. Let's get it started. I'm not worried about where I start. It's where I end up. There it is. 500's there. Now 600. I got 5. Now $600 bid, $600 where? 500's there. Make 600 where? $600 bid, 600. 500's there. Now $600. This is probably one of the coolest items I've ever sold. At 600. I got 500 there. Make it $600 bid, 600 where? I got 500 there. Say 600. Last chance. I sold it out 500. Big round of applause for buyer number. What's your number? I need to see that number, though. There it is, 268.
Amazing. Let's hear it for all of the people who took part in this auction tonight.
All right. So we have a very, very important part of the night, and everyone is going to participate, so it's really important that everybody listens in here because their part is very important. This part of the night is called Fund the Mission. The theory behind it is that there were great paintings, great trips to Italy, all kinds of great things that you might have bid on, but not all of you got those items, which means you still have that money, and we want it. More importantly, Life Direction needs it to keep doing what they're doing. So in a moment, I'm going to start asking for straight donations. I'm going to start out at $10,000. Anybody that can do $10,000, you just hold your paddle. You keep it up there until I read the number off. Then I'll do $5,000. I'll do $2,500, $1,000, so on and so forth, until we get to $100. So there's an amount for everybody. The deal is, the amount I'm asking for is not your amount. That's okay, because the person sitting next to you might be thinking about it, and it's your rousing applause that is just the encouragement they need to donate. So even if you're not bidding, you can help us raise money by applauding, and it works every single time. It's amazing. So your job is simple. Either you're bidding or you're applauding. Do we know what we're doing? We're either bidding or we're applauding. We're in the General Motors World Headquarters. I'm going to ask you again, do you know what you're doing?
Yes!
There it is. There it is. This first amount is for $10,000. Before I even ask, let's get that applause started. Let's do it. Here we go. We'll get it going. Let's make some noise. Who'll do $10,000? At $10,000. I can't hear you. If you're not bidding, you're applauding. At $10,000 bid, would have been $10,000 where? Who else? Oh, Father has something to say here. Hold on.
A board member named Luke Jacoby is giving $10,000.
There you go. There you go. Who else wants to follow suit? At $10,000 bid, would have been 10. Anyone else in at $10,000 bid, would have been 10,000? How about a round of applause for our board member, already on the board and donates 10 grand. That's outstanding. All right. So this next amount is for $5,000, and I know applauding that long can be tiring, but you're applauding for the children. The more you applaud, the more they bid. This next amount is for $5,000. Let's get that applause going. Let's make some noise. Let's do it. Let's bring down the house. Who'll do $5,000? At $5,000 bid, would be $5,000 where? Who else? There's $5,000 right there. Keep that applause going. Or $5,000 bid, would be $5,000. I can't hear you. I can't hear it, Motor City. At $5,000, there's another one there. Another one there. Keep it coming. At $5,000 bid, would be $5,000. Keep your hands together for buyer number 297. Bidder number 256. And buyer number 231. Did I miss anyone else at 5,000? All right. That is awesome. That is 25,000 so far between the two. That's great. But now we're going to the $2,500 amount. And you know what to do by now. Let's get that applause going. Let's do it. Who'll do $2,500? At $2,500 bid, would 25. I can't hear the applause. Are we at a Red Wings game or something? Yes, I need some applause. At $2,500 bid, would have been 25. Who else is in? There's one right there. At $2,500 bid, would have been 25. Who else is in? I can't hear you. At $2,500 bid, would have been 2,500. Keep your hands together for buyer number 279, right? Ed, was your number 279? 279. There you go. All right. Now we're down to the $1,000 amount. It's going to be getting quiet in here because so many people will be bidding. But for $1,000, let's get that applause going. Let's make some noise. Here we go. Make some noise. Bring it with me. Who'll do 1,000? At $1,000, be able to 1,000. I can't hear it. I cannot hear it. At $1,000, be able to 1,000. Who's in at 1,000? Hold your paddles up nice and high. Don't be shy. At $1,000, be able to 1,000 where? Who else is in at $1,000, be able to 1,000? All right. Now, we're moving to the $500 amount. Here we go. You know what to do. What is that? That is make some noise. Let's do it. Who'll do 500? At $500, there's one there. Another one there. Keep it coming. Who else is in at 500? There we go. Here's at $500. Hold them up nice and high. Don't be shy. At $500, we got one here. Another one there. At $500, be able to be 500. Keep your hands together for buyer number 102. Bidder number 197, and I had somebody over here. Buyer number 246. See, I told you I'd get your money. And buyer number 178. There we go. There's another one right there. Anyone else? She wanted to do 5. That last one, 178, wanted to do 500. Can you put her in the 500 column? We'll put you in the 5,000 column if you want, but. All right. Was that 500 or 250 I just did?
That was 500.
That was 500. Okay, thanks. Okay, there we go. All right, the next amount is for 250. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Let's make some noise. There's 250. There's 250. There's another one there. Another one there. Keep it going. Who else is in at 250? I can't hear you, Motor City. At 250. There's one there. Another one there. At $250, be able to 250. Who else is in? At 250, there's one here. Hold them up nice and high. At $250, be able to 250. Keep your hands together for buyer number 155. Bidder number 152. Buyer number 262. Bidder number 229. Is there anyone else at 250? All right. So here's the deal. This is for $100, my last amount of the night, and it's going to be dead silent in here because I know everyone is going to be putting their paddle up at 100. But before we get to that dead silence, let's make some noise. Let's bring this thing home strong. Here we go. Let's do it. Finish me up strong. Bring me home strong. 100. Here we go. Who'll do 100 out of me with 100 where? There's 100. There's a whole table right there. There's one there. Another one there. Keep it coming. At 100 out of it. I can't hear you, Detroit. At 100. Who else is in? At 100 out of me with 100 where? Keep it going. At 100. Yes, you should. Don't stop now. At 100 out of me with 100. Keep your hands together for buyer number 278. Bidder number 142. You can still applaud. We have time. Buyer number 258. Bidder number 198. Buyer number 239. Bidder number 270. Buyer number 216. Bidder number 213. Buyer number 161. Bidder number 131. Buyer number 174, bidder number 166, buyer number 153, and how about a round of applause for this full table right here? We're going to count them down. Buyer number 224, buyer number 257, bidder number 220, buyer number 221, buyer number 222, buyer number 223, buyer number 182. Who do I have? Buyer number, this is $100 every time I read a number. You can applaud. It's okay. Buyer number 266. Oh my gosh. Cuteness overload. Buyer number 105. Thank you, my dear. Is there anyone else at 100 that I might have missed? All right, now it's time for one more big round of applause for all of those bidders, all of you for tonight. That is awesome. That's awesome.
So incredible. So much appreciation to all of you for lighting the spark, a spark of hope for young adults within our community. And with that spark, possibilities truly are endless. For a final word before dessert and entertainment, let's bring back Father John.
As I'm speaking, I'm going to ask the Board of Trustees, if the Board of Trustees of Detroit please could stand. If you all could stand. We want to have a photo op of all the Board of Trustees members. Could you come and stand in front of me? Could you all stand in front of me up here? Those Board of Trustees members who are present. Says the Board of Trustees members are coming forward. I want to say a final word of thanks to Chris, our auctioneer. Do I hear for amen? Amen. And as our Board of Trustees members are coming forward, Patrick, yeah, down here in the front, just in front. I want you to see the Board of Trustees, the members. This is about many of the board members would want to be here, but they're away on business. I want to say to all of you a way of remembering. Keep moving. Yeah, get near me some way. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Our cameraman, Dave, will tell us when to stop. Okay. Hey, all right. Okay, so now as we say goodnight to this evening, we began by remembering someone who does so much. So may I give you a final word. You're looking at the board members of Life Directions of Detroit. In 2020, we had no opportunity to have you together with us. These board members raised $164,000 last year. Many people say things. Many people talk. These people have this motto by which they live. What they do is what they mean by what they say. We have raised $250,000 before tonight began, and you heard what came from this. That means over 300 young people and their families will be touched by our program this year. May I give a big round of applause for our Board of Trustees. As we're bringing this part to a close, we're opening up for entertainment, and a bar will be open. So the bar is open with entertainment. Yeah. Mama Rita's cannolis. Did you like them? Yeah. All right. What is she doing? Oh, okay. 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 You're welcome. Now, Dave, now I would like the staff, would the staff of Life Directions please come forward? Would the staff of Life Directions please come forward? As they're doing so, feel free to go to the bar. But for the staff of Life Directions, would you please come forward? Annette and Van and Clarissa. Okay. The staff of Life Directions, please come forward. Okay, if you're going to check, when you leave, please check out where you checked in. Please check out where you checked in. The staff of Life Directions, Annette Howard. They never do what I ask them. What is going on here, Van? Clarissa, is she still here? Maybe they're not here. Okay. Is Annette still here? Huh? Okay, here comes Annette. Here comes Jim. Here comes Clarissa. Dave, I'm going to ask you to take a picture of the staff. Clarissa, Annette, and Jim. Father Alex. What you're looking at here are people who have done the work. Jim Ryder to my right, 150 young people this past year. Clarissa with 20 families with Father Alex this past year. Annette Howard has trained 40 women to turn trauma into a gift for others, be healed. And Van Benson is the director of our program in Chicago that has run for 200 young people on the South Side. 3 cheers for them. Hooray, 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 hooray. Enjoy the night. You're welcome. Thanks, Jim.